We inform, we educate, we entertain. We are the people's 105.5 FM, Abuja.
I'm excited to present to you the development report on People's 105.5 FM Abuja. The development report focuses on critical development issues, particularly on Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, women, climate change, health, water, environment, and other topics relating to human progress and societal well-being. Join me, Ife Onyekwere, every Saturday from 12:15 p.m. The development report towards collective action in support of development.
The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green, can't you see? I can see all the harvest is red.
In the story of progress, every chapter of development adds depth, richness, and meaning to our collective narrative. From the smallest steps to the grandest strides, every act of development paves the way for a brighter tomorrow. Welcome to the Development Report on People's 105.5 FM, where we'll talk about pressing issues surrounding sustainable development. I'm all about everything development, from women's empowerment to children's rights, climate change, water resources, food waste, waste management, energy, and more. I am Ife Onyekwere, and together we'll be coming close to our common good as a nation as we look into the topic before us today, the impact of open defecation on global health and sustainable development. And joining us in the studio today is Dr. Chimere May Ohajinwa, an esteemed environmental toxicologist and public health expert. She serves as the team leader at Sea Circle Research. Good afternoon, ma'am, and how are you doing today?
Thank you.
Yeah, great to have you again. Yeah, all right. In the fight against open defecation, it's actually a very important one to achieving the global health, achieving a great global health and also sustainable development. And that's what we're going to be exploring today with an expert with us in the studio here with us today. And you can join the conversation today on social media at People's 105.5 FM. You can also send your contribution talking about open defecation and its impact on the global health. You can send your contribution on WhatsApp via 0911 112 1055, and you can follow me on X at If Inspires to continue the conversation. All right, straight up, we'll be taking the development news stories shortly. For the headlines, federal government calls for action as open defecation affects 47 million Nigerians. Minister of Environment calls for alignment in climate action policies. China-Nigeria partnership to boost energy and smart city development. Report says no fewer than 47 million Nigerians still practice open defecation. Speaking at the World Toilet Day in Kano State, the Minister of Environment, Balarabe Abbas Lawal, called for urgent action to improve sanitation and meet global targets by 2030. The minister, represented by Engineer Bahija Abubakar, expressed concern over the lack of adequate sanitation facilities in many institutions across the nation. Meanwhile, the Kano State Governor, Kabar Yusuf, in commemoration of the event, announced that Kano State has 27 local government areas free of open defecation. The Emir of Kano, in a remark, encouraged more communities to maintain efforts for a cleaner Nigeria. The federal government has called for stronger collaboration between national and state governments in the drive for a greener economy. The Minister of Environment, Balarabe Lawal Yusuf, while making this call at the just concluded COP29 in Baku, urged for an alignment in climate action policies to avoid duplication. Meanwhile, Ekiti state officials represented at the event shared their efforts, including reducing carbon dioxide emissions with solar street lighting, promoting sustainable agriculture, and focusing on waste management and climate-smart farming. China and Nigeria are set to collaborate on new energy projects, digital smart cities, and infrastructure development, leveraging China's advanced technology and Nigeria's vast resources. Chinka chairman, while speaking in Abuja during the China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo, highlighted the plans to enhance energy access and promote sustainable urban growth. The partnership, aligned with China's Belt and Road Initiative, is set to foster investment in renewable energy and innovative urban management solutions. And that's it on the development news segment. And keep it right locked here for more engaging sections. All right. Before we actually go on this music break, talking about Kano State and the World Toilet Day that was just marked in the States recently, the governor said something very striking. He said 27 local government areas are now free of open defecation. I think Kano State has 44 local government areas. So that's like half of the local governments we have there right now. How would you what would you say about this development, saying 27 states are free of open defecation in the 27 local governments are free of open defecation in the states?
Yeah, welcome everyone again.
Yeah.
So during the World Toilet Day, Nigeria also launched an implementation strategy plan to extend the deadline, which was supposed to be 2030.
Yeah, 2030.
Yeah, so we are extending it to 2030 instead of 2025.
Yeah.
And so the implementation plan is now going to be more expanded. But so far, Clean Nigeria campaign, which is an agency under Water Resources, Federal Ministry of Water Resources, I've already declared 135 local governments nationwide open defecation free. And inside that 135 local governments, we have over 30,000 communities that have also declared that they are open defecation free. So that is why they are standing in to make sure that everybody, we have 774 local governments in Nigeria. So far, we have 135 open defecation free. So we are hoping that with the new extension, implementation strategies and extension, that we are going to cover the whole local government, because already they're making progress to make sure that everybody is, practicing
in alignment.
Yes, in alignment. So people don't do that, defecating openly, which has a lot of impact.
Amazing. So we can actually give it up for Kano State. If they have 27 out of 44, they're actually moving fast. Yeah. Amazing. All right, so we'll go on a music break right now, and when we come back, we'll go into the conversation for today, the impact of open defecation on global health and sustainable development.
And it's green, it's green. I can see all the harvest is ready, 'cause he told me so. It's green and it's all mine. As the clouds go gray, the thunder roars and the earth sings. The season's just beginning. Sunlight it hides as the clouds make way for the pouring of my blessings. I will not be afraid. I see it now, I understand, I know. So I embrace it, dance in the rain. It's for my seed to grow, for every prayer and every seed I've sown. Lord of the harvest moons, I'm reaping back 100-fold. The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green, can't you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me. Standing alone can be a heavy load, but my vows I won't be breaking. Though my heart is aching, I got a word and I won't let go. It's your will I'm seeking, so I keep on believing. I see it now, I understand, I know, so I embrace it, dance. Once again it's time for me to grow. For every prayer and every tear I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping joy 100-fold. The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green, can't you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. I thought it was over, thought you were done with me, but we're just beginning. Whoa, my life is a journey. I will walk with you, I will go where you want me to. Yes, I will go. Come on.
It's still the development report on People's 105.5 FM, and I'm here with Dr. Chimereme Ohajinwa, and she's an esteemed environmental toxicologist and public health expert. We're discussing the impact of open defecation on global health and sustainable development. All right, so it's time for us to have this conversation. What is it about open defecation? We just heard a story before we went on that break about a states in the country already, bringing out their own report saying 27 states, 27 local government out of 44 local government are actually free of open defecation. Can you say same for your states, and how is it going where you are right now? You can also join the conversation here with us. All right, so Doctor, I wanted to tell us because when we talk about open defecation, we're not going to be looking at just what it is about. We also know that this is connected to some health issues. We know that this is connected to global health on a larger scale. So what are the most significant health risks associated with open defecation, and how do these risks affect the vulnerable population, children, women, in the society?
Okay. It's not a rocket science, and it's not everybody knows that these things have impacts. So if you are going to be doing open defecation, just know that it comes with a lot of diseases. You're going to be contaminating the water, the soil. Children can pick up whatever is mixed in the sand as they're playing and put in their mouth. And that means if it's contagious, they can also take it home and infect adults. So don't just assume that it's only children. And so imagine if so that's how it goes, and it doesn't just stop. So it's apart from typhoid, cholera, diarrhea, you can have hookworm, you can have diseases that you can pick like that, and then you keep transferring it to people that is not supposed to get it. And it doesn't just end there. It can also contribute to malnutrition. So the child is having diarrhea, and then the child is eating and is not getting enough food. So it's not only pure diseases like that. It can also contribute to malnutrition, and you have a lot of impact that you didn't even think about. And so when it has to do with malnutrition, that means the child can also have stunting. It's not growing as it's supposed to grow.
Really?
So yes, because the food is like the food you're eating is supposed to nourish your body. You're passing it out through diarrhea. And that also is been known that malnutrition can also contribute to the IQ level of the child. So this thing.
Tell us about that. Amazing.
No, the nutrient you're eating, you're not getting enough nutrients. So the nutrient you're eating, you're passing it out. So the long impact, even on education, on productivity, and things I can't even, you don't want to imagine that these things that are not so glaring to us, but they have impact. So it's important that people just stop that open defecation and use the toilet.
Amazing. Wow. Great to know that beyond what we actually think, open defecation actually goes deeper. And that's why people keep talking about this. That's why the government keeps saying things about this. NGOs keep talking about this. Even individuals, and those in the capacity who can actually speak out, are saying this, because someone might be asking, why do people talk about open defecation? What about those who are in vulnerable communities who cannot even, help themselves? Let's even talk about that. We have people who stay in areas where it's almost impossible to find a toilet there. How do we address this?
It's almost impossible to find a toilet. So they actually feel like open defecation is the only solution for us. But now we're seeing the impact. It's very dangerous. It's even beyond the cholera, the diseases that we actually thought, it's more deeper. So how do we address vulnerable communities who are not making efforts, or who feel like they are constrained to actually go on to, we need to get toilets, So are there alternatives to the, in quotes, WCs that can actually serve well, and ensure that they are actually in line and, beating that open defecation issue? Yes. Okay. So there's an organization called Clean Nigeria campaign. They are under Federal Ministry of Water Resources. So they have the mandate to stop the open defecation. That also means that there are so many innovations and initiatives that are coming into play. Like, you don't have money to buy the normal WC that you need to use water.
Yes.
You don't have water to flush. There's pit toilets. And there are even different types of pit toilets. There is one that you don't need, just 1 cup of water can help flush. So there have been a lot of innovations around toilets that make it easy for people to have. There are companies that are producing them in Nigeria. They will just look like a plastic. All you need to know is just dig your hole and put that. Just little water, it flushes. So you don't need so much money to have a toilet. So it's now more like, do you really want to do it? Do you see it as important?
Necessity.
Do you see it as a necessity, or you just think it's not in my backyard? I don't care. As long as my own house is clean, I don't care what happens in my neighbor's house or happens to my neighbor's children. Forgetting that they can pick this up and then, transfer it to everybody. How do we get polio? These are the way we distribute diseases. You may think it doesn't concern you, but somehow it concerns you. Your children go out. You buy food. You don't even know the person that is cooking the food is getting the water. You don't know the disease the person has. Whether the person washes his hand when he goes to toilet. You pick money, we all transfer money from one person to another. Do you care to know what is on top of the money that you're carrying?
Exactly.
How many of us touch money and wash our hand before eating? How many people are conscious of that? So it's important that we just stop it, because you think it doesn't concern you, but it does concern you. It goes round. It goes round. You think it's not in my backyard. It goes round and it gets back to you. It was in the same country that we experienced COVID-19. Some people got it with all the trying to be careful and all that, they still had it. So it's the same way. If it's an infectious disease that is going to pass through physics, you never know where it will end. So that's why I say it's important that we have that.
Amazing. I also I want you to explain the concept or this concept of fecal oral pathway and how it contributes to. It was in the course of making research about open defecation, that I came across that. How does this contribute to the spread of diseases like typhoid, diarrhea, in areas where open defecation is prevalent? Okay, so I mentioned a little bit of that fecal oral pathway earlier when I was talking. So now, if for example you're going to use children, the children pick up this idea playing. It's very easy for children to pick things from the floor and put in their mouth. So meaning that whatever they picked from the floor, assuming is contaminated by physics. Yes.
You don't know. The child has picked it up, has put inside his mouth. Then the child probably has started having diarrhea. And the mother will go and change pampers. And probably did not wash her hand very well. And use that hand and cook or serve the family. Then other people get it. It may not get it the same day. But I'm just saying how it can pass. It can pass from one person
to the other.
To another. And so probably that mother too is the one that is selling akara on your streets.
Oh my.
Or probably selling food. Then you now go. You don't even know whether you wash your hand very well. You now use it and bring the pepper. Well, of us are buying corn and using pepper to tie. You don't even know where. You don't know where it's coming from. So the corn is very sweet. And the sugar is very sweet. And you're just eating. So another way it can get, it can also move from physics to mouth. That's the fecal oral pathway and infectious through contaminated water. So when you now pass that your physics and then it rains and it ends in our river, and it's that river that you probably contaminated the water 10 kilometers away, that is now causing problem down the road. So the water appears to that person looking clean, not knowing that it's contaminated already. So you can, contaminate our water and they're drinking it. Remember, most of us are also drinking borehole water. Don't even know whether the borehole there's some seepage from your neighbor's sack away into your own, or there's a river. So it's important that we improve on our own
hygiene.
On our hygiene. It's poor hygiene, like I just said. If you wash your hand properly, especially if you're taking care of children, taking care of elderly, or you needed to clean up a child, throw away pampers, wash your hand very well. So poor hygiene is also how we can get these physics into our mouth through contaminated water, through children that are picking things on the road, through contaminated food. You can have all these things. Then these diseases, so assuming it's not even physics that's caused cholera or typhoid, can move from one person to another just like that. So these are some of the ways we can have this fecal oral pathway. That's from physics to the mouth, and it will not cause disease.
Amazing. Now, I want us to look at the sustainable development angle of it. Goal 16 of the SDG talks about clean water and sanitation. Goal 3, Goal 6, that's clean water and sanitation. Goal 3, good health and well-being, and we're moving towards, a situation whereby we can actually meet up with the targets with goal 2030. So I wanted to explain how, tell the audience how open defecation can actually, undermine the progress of this goal that we're actually pushing towards, because this program is about sustainable development. We are trying to ensure that we do our part. Everyone listening, we actually do our part, right? From the little we can do to ensure that we have a more cleaner, greener environment. So how does open defecation undermine the progress of goal 6, that's clean water and sanitation, and good health and well-being of goal 3?
Okay. So sustainable development goals, that's what we're talking about. So abbreviation is SDGs. And we have 17 SDGs. So out of these 17 SDGs, somehow they are all connected. It's not as if it's only goal 6. Goal 6 is the clean water.
Yes.
While the goal 3 is well-being. But there are other goals that can be, being
linked
to open defecation. So if you are now taking it for granted that it doesn't affect you, it does affect you. So what I'm trying to say in effect is that so for clean water, I've talked about contamination, right? How that's defecating in the open can affect our drinking water. Yeah. And that means somebody can fall sick as a result of that. So one of the goals that if we stop that open defecation and if there is public toilet that you can pay that is good enough that someone can use and not prefer to go and shit outside. There are some secondary schools that don't have toilets, and then you wonder what happens in those kind of places. Of course, the children will come and when that's what will happen now. If you think the school shouldn't have toilet, that's what's going to happen. Exactly. So it's important that we have toilet because this, for us to achieve that goal that Nigeria has signed, is a sustainable development goal. Yes. For that goal to be achieved, and there are 17 of them. That's right. And so number 6 is talking about clean water. So open defecation contributes to contaminating our water. And so that is why Nigeria is stopping this open defecation, because we already signed to be part of it globally, that we don't want this in our country again. So for us to have that clean water, people falling sick as a result of contaminated water, this kind of a thing, and then they will not miss work. That also means they will not miss income, and that means reduction in productivity. So these are the things. So we need to achieve that open defecation so that we can achieve the SDG goals. So for the SDG, that's Sustainable Development number 3, which is now focused on healthy living. So that one, the healthy living, if you are sick, like this diarrhea, all these waterborne diseases and worms and all that, if you are sick, you cannot achieve that. You're having worm, you are going to have malnutrition. If you're having all these diseases, you're not living a healthy life. So if you are stopping it, you see that you are now also contributing to living a healthy life that we did not plan exactly before. So even though we are just focusing on these 2, there are other ones that are connected that are also focused on. So it's not only these 2. Like for example, sustainable goal 11 is talking about sustainable cities and communities. So one of the ways for our community to be sustainable is by having these toilets around. If not, it's not sustainable, because you're now the open defecation is now contributing to environmental pollution and even degradation of the urban areas. Another one is Goal 12. Goal 12 is looking at responsible consumption and production. So it promotes if you are having unsustainable practice, then you should stop it. We are wasting things, that kind of a thing. Yeah. How do we make sure that we are having proper consumption and production? So if you're you're supposed to have toilet. You're supposed to, this kind of exactly things you don't need. Don't bother eating it or wasting it. Don't come and generate so much waste and thinking of how to manage the waste again. So that kind of, even in the development, you're promoting all this minimalism. So you're thinking, do I really need this? If I don't need it, if it's going to cause problems, so why do I have to continue doing that? So these are small things that are all linked that we're not even thinking about.
Amazing. Thank you for going even beyond SDG 6 and 3. That was actually very elaborate. And while you were speaking, I was thinking about how lack of education or social norms or cultural practices, because it's beyond Nigeria, it's beyond Africa, but we've seen a situation whereby some communities or some sect of people might be practicing some things that may negate things that could lead to progress, or things that could lead to progress in the SDG we're trying to achieve. And so how can some social norms, cultural practices, lack of education, what role do they play in perpetuating open defecation, especially in our country, Nigeria?
Okay. Some of the social norms that are common in Nigeria is that, so places they will tell you things like, it's not good to have toilet inside my house, so I will have the toilet outside. And if you don't have the toilet outside, that means I have to do it open defecation. Some people think, some of this, I'm not going to call the community, they said somewhere in the south that they will, the community, even in fact some people that live in cities contribute money for that. So they built something that looked like a fence. So it used to be a wood.
Okay.
Now it's not a fence, like a block. So it's like upgraded, but it's still open defecation. So every morning people just gather, men just sit down together. So women have their side, the men have their side. They sit down together. You think they're just sitting on a block. They're actually pooing. But everybody just sitting down, and when you look at them,
cultural norm.
Yeah, it's a cultural, it's acceptable. Wow. So you leave your house in the morning and you just come and everybody will just sit down. You think they're sitting on a bench, but everybody is so behind is like a hole, a big valley. So the team will just be entering that place. So sometimes they have this kind of cultural norms that make you think, okay, it's okay to do that. Some people also think, okay, if you use toilets that is like going that outside is even a status symbol. I can shit outside, you can't shit outside.
Hell.
Places. And so some of these things that are not correct, you start changing it. So you see places where, because so not only toilets, so even when women are menstruating, the toilet, you don't have good toilet for them to change their pad and all that, like for example in a school. So the child may stop going to school because he doesn't have a place to change his pad. And you are not saying it as important to provide toilet for girls or provide good toilet for girls where they can stay, change their pad, wash their hand and all. So it's not only open defecation. And so that kind of gender inequality will not limit women having access to sanitation facilities, and especially during their menstruation, right? And so you find out that these things that means if that kind of a thing is existing and you don't have toilets, you also means we are encouraging them to go outside. If you have to now think this is a taboo, we can't talk about it, we can't consider them, we can't have special toilet for them because in this community women are not supposed to have this and have that. That means women will now go outside and go and do it in the open, so she can have her own privacy in the name of privacy. So when you have this kind of social norms, thinking that this is better, these are things that promote that open defecation because it's already like an accepted norm.
Amazing. Talking about cultural norms, I don't know if you've heard people say defecating outside makes them help the plants to grow. Like, I don't know if you heard stuff like that. People say, they're defecating outside because when they defecate outside, it's going to help the grasses or their crops to grow, especially in rural areas. Yeah. You're surprised as
it can be a manure, but it's also like causing more problem. So it's better.
I need to address this actually, because
but it could be the physics can be manure, but it should be treated. It shouldn't just go like that.
Treated as thank you. You need to highlight that to the audience because they need to really hear this.
Because if you just take it straight, you're not causing problem. Because if it rains, a child picks it up, gets into the plant, orange falls on top of it, you just pick it up and think it's okay and just use your body and clean it and then eat it without knowing that mango it's just coming straight from the physics. Person will just think it's still fresh. Oh no, you just got it no from the farm. Not knowing the thing are just falling on. So yes, you can turn your human physics or even animal physics to manure, but it has to be treated. It needs to be treated. It's not just, they don't just pick it up like that. So you see, another thing that is contributing to some of this problem is that awareness, that hygiene awareness, the health literacy, the impact on environment, the impact on our health, the health education. These are some of the things that cause all these, that perpetuate all these behaviors that are not right.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a manure, but it's not like that now. It's not like you just carry like this and just put and start using
so it's safe to say treated manure, right?
Yeah, but
it's safe for the plant.
It's not something you're even using in your house. There's a plant.
There are people who are actually
trained, engineers that
you need to tell Nigerians because trust me, this thing I'm saying, I've heard it from 3 different localities. In the course of doing research about open defecation and all like that, and you see people brag about it and tell you that we are helping the crops. And you see people tell you that we are helping the crops. So it's safe to say treated manure is good for the plant, but it's not you doing it if you're not trained, right? So that you don't cause.
There's a plant. It goes through. It's like a whole system. It goes through it. I don't know if you know. Abuja has liquid treatment plant, liquid waste treatment plant. That's where all your sewage, whether they pick it from your house manually or you're in city where it's connected, is connected. It's in Whooper. So everything, as you are flushing your toilet, that's where it goes to. It's very far, but that's where it goes to. So it's not. That's when you see all these holes on the road and all that. So when there's an issue, they call manhole. They connect it. So it's not good that you see people maybe are taking out the cover of that manhole. So how do you expect us to solve the problem? There's underground connection. There are lots of underground connections. You're just traveling on the road. So in that place, that's where they treat that liquid waste. And they treat it in such a way that by the time the water comes out, it comes out very clean, like drinking water. It comes out very clean. That sewage has gone through that. So it's not like you are trained in school, then you sit down in your house and then you build those things. No. It's a plant. It's a full industry.
Yes. Amazing. I've always had the opinion that where people are talking about something or where there is a problem, it means there are opportunities there too. Open defecation has been on the lips of the government, has been on the lips of CSOs, NGOs, concerned individuals, and even international bodies, right? And so for people listening right now, because for us as a country, we have so many people come out to say, oh, there are no jobs. I'm not saying the contrary either, right? But then I'm saying, are there economic benefits of investing in sanitation and hygiene infrastructure? For people who are private individuals, are there opportunities, collaborations with government to ensure that while they are solving problems, they also have their own benefits? Even though I've had someone, okay, that was for TV, but, someone who, is really investing heavily on this business in the technological aspect of it. I think it turns urine into something very productive. That's actually a very wowing innovation. So I wanted to speak to people who might feel, oh, there's a problem here, open defecation. What are the benefits for people who want to go into something creative or add technology to it? And then partnership too. How can they seek partnership to ensure that they...
Okay, so like I said, the Clean Nigeria campaign is an agency under Federal Ministry of Water Resources that are focused on ending open defecation in Nigeria. So we moved it from 2025 now to 2030. And there are a lot of innovations. Like I just explained to you, different types of toilets, the one that will use little water, the one that needs this, there are different types of toilets. These are innovations. So people are trying to solve that problem of in rural areas where there is no water or there is scarcity of water. What can we do? So there are a lot of innovations that are coming up. We also have public toilets. That people's business. There's mobile toilets. When they are doing conference, you're doing crusade, you're doing meeting in one place, and there's no toilet, you employ mobile toilets. So what I'm trying to say in effect, yes, there are economic benefits to that. There are a lot of economic benefits in sanitation business. They call it the sanitation marketing. So yes.
Amazing. So if you're listening and you're thinking of
business.
What are the... Yes. So I don't want to say the way it's coming in my mind, but really there is actually a market open for you here in the open defecation space. Really, it might look like dirty business, but I've had a couple of people say it's actually very lucrative, especially people who turn these things or partner with people who are into technology. It's really very lucrative. If we can actually sit down and do our homework, I think we would come out with so much knowledge and so much how to do's of how to navigate this.
Even packaged in both the urine and the feces as manure for farmers is also business.
Amazing. You see, is this a very long process?
Not really.
Not really? Wow. So I think partnership can actually go a long way. I think one of the things we need to start encouraging, people out there is, if I have knowledge about something, I don't have to wait till I'm all prepared. I could partner with the next person to actually ensure that we are solving a problem. And, but I don't know why it's not so, a lot of people really do not, this partnership of a thing. But it's really, because I've had a guess. This thing you just mentioned now, he's really making a whole lot out of this business. And he says people call it dirty business, but he's really enjoying himself in it. And he has achieved a whole lot in a short period of time from waste business. Amazing. All right, so looking ahead, let's talk about the steps that is needed to be taken to eliminate open defecation by 2030. I wanted to give you the summary here. We're envisioning that by 2030 we would have done a lot. Individuals, communities, organizations. What are the steps to ensure that while we're canvassing for a cleaner environment, we are joining forces together to ensure that more states, more local governments, more communities are free of open defecation? How do we get there to ensure a massive celebration as at 2030? Just a few years to come.
Okay, like I said, I think Clean Nigeria is doing a lot of work, and in connection with other NGOs, I think UNICEF, Water Aid is supporting a lot. So one way is to strengthen the political will. So like we looked at the Kano State government saying, we have achieved 27 out of 44, right? So the leadership, the political will to do it. We also assign money to that. We prioritize sanitation to ensure that sanitation is a top priority in the states. We look at how do we empower local governments to actually implement these sanitation programs effectively. How can we improve our sanitation infrastructure? Like if I'm pressed, suddenly I'm having tummy problem and I want to use public toilet. How good is the public toilet? Can I use it? So, you also make toilets that are okay for the blind people or someone on wheelchair. You also consider them when you're making the toilet. There's also should be planned for maintaining it. Some of these things, you go there, if you go there when they just built it newly, it's looking all nice. Come there 10 years later, you won't even go there. So we also need to, upgrade the existing infrastructure that we already have. Then in schools, we should promote hygiene and sanitation education, mobilize communities to know that they need toilets. Those communities that are telling you that they think it's a status symbol to sit outside. So you engage them in campaigns that can help them to change their behavior. We have all these school programs, media, like what we are doing now is a media program. We're able to track how far we've gone, like what Nigeria is doing now. Okay, see, 2025, this is what we are supposed to achieve. Now we are taking steps to improve it by 2030. What are we doing? So we'll be able to track it, monitor what we are doing, evaluate it, collect data on that so that it can help us to make this kind of decisions. Have that public-private partnership. You foster that. What's the collaboration between government and NGOs? Engage private sectors. Things that can help us improve according to our own environment. Whatever method we are employing that is appropriate for our own environment. All these social and cultural barriers that will make us not to have. We end it like that. Involve women, consider all of those. That's what I think are the steps we can take to achieve that.
Amazing. Thank you very much for this awesome conversation. Trust me, it was an enlightening and very educative section with you today. Thank you so much. I also want to thank our audience for listening and my amazing producer in the studio here with me, Mr. Miracle. Thank you so much. And also to Mr. Charles Kalu, the executive producer. To my amazing guests, thank you. We hope to have you. we hope to have you some other time. Thank you. Our guest today is Dr. Chimereme Ohajiwa, an esteemed environmental toxicologist and public health expert. We are very honored to have you in the studio here with us today. All right, you join us next week.